Oh, God. Nitro. Number 86. Also May 5th, 1997. The show sucked.
Very much so.
I didn't hate it.
What?
It was a waste of time.
It was because it was only an hour, but...
Brian. Would a second hour of this show have been good?
Listen.
Do you have an hour
Let's
to kill?
go through it, and I'll tell you all the great stuff that happened.
For God's sakes.
All right.
Isn't that my job?
First, they showed Roddy Piper failing to save Ric Flair last week.
Yeah.
They openly admitted how bad this looked. We don't know why Roddy Piper was standing there as Flair was getting triple teamed and crying for help.
So, after showing that, they go to the announcer's booth, and they're going to ask Piper, but this big banner drops that says NWO Tradition Bites. They go crazy, they tear it down. Roddy says, I'm going to the ring. Roddy goes to the ring, and to their credit, Roddy explains why he didn't help Ric Flair last week. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said.
Okay.
Roddy's excuse for not running out there and helping Flair when Flair's being beaten 3-on-1 and screaming for Roddy. His excuse is, it was only 3-on-1 and you were doing fine.
And Flair smiled and nodded.
Even though the replay, he was being held,
Off the rails.
Screaming Piper's name.
being punched.
So they lied here. They lied through their teeth to the people. JJ Dillon arrives. He says something about there's nothing to do about the contract. Actually, first Piper says he doesn't care about the purse. They want 75% of the purse. That's fine. They can have it all. Then Dillon shows up and says there's nothing to do about the deal. You and your 6 kids will have to live on 25% of the purse. And actually, there's 3 of them, so it's 8%.
8.333.
Yeah. So Piper's cool with that, and Flair and Piper scream for a while. The music plays, and poor Kevin Green then grabs the mic, and then they cut to a wide shot. And Public Enemy's music playing, and you can see in the ring, Piper and Flair and Green are all still there. I imagine Green was shouting something, but they probably cut his mic.
They cut his mic, yeah, because they didn't have enough time.
Yes.
They also had the banners, Tradition Bites. They fell down from the rafters on
The
all
flyers,
4 sides,
yes.
and then the flyers came down as
Yeah,
well.
they have flyers and banners.
Just like last week.
Yes.
Can you imagine, by the way, as we watch these old NWA shows from 1986, and you've got JJ and Tully, can you imagine that they had JJ here, and they made him such a unwatchable character?
That's what I said last week.
I know, but I watched it this week, and it struck me.
Well,
I was a week late.
You were right, and it gets worse.
But I thought, you know what? It's the first week. Vinny's very hard on this, but let's give it some time. Boy, it's not looking good.
Apology accepted.
It's not looking good. Let's talk about this next match, which was amazing.
This did not look good either.
Come on.
Public Enemy.
How can you bury the show with a match like this on it?
Watch. Public Enemy versus Hugh Morris and Conan. First of all, they briefly teased putting Jimmy Hart through a table.
Conan saved him.
Conan saved him. They put 2 tables on top of each other. They walk Conan over to them. They have him with his feet on the floor, just bend over and put his upper body on the table, and we're supposed to believe he can't move. He's essentially standing already. So
He's out on his feet.
Grunge goes up top. He goes through 2 tables. Conan moves, and Grunge does not hit the table's dead center. So he comes down like basically on top of the legs, and they got nothing to break his fall, and they also slid off them right into the guardrail. Grunge is down. The trainers come out to look on him. Rocco Rock is now alone. He makes his own comeback. He puts Conan onto a table, but then Hugh Morris cuts him off. Morris suplexes Rocco off the top rope through Conan and the table. Everyone is down. Somewhere in this debris there is a cover. The ref counts 3, and it is declared that the Dungeon have won.
Can I recap how the announcers called this finish?
Sure.
Conan is on the table. Rocco goes up top. Hugh Morris suplexes him through Conan and the table. And Hugh Morris does, in fact, roll on top for the pin. At which point, Tony Schiavone screams, "Who got pinned?" Valid question. Larry's response to this question is, "The table? Not a legal man." Bobby's response is, "Everyone." Not one announcer had any idea what was going on here. And I don't want to make light of the situation here. This isn't meant to make light of the situation. But 2 of these guys are dead. One of the guy is a total physical wreck. And I don't know the shape that Hugh Morris is in. But that superplex where one guy got superplexed onto another guy through a table. The Johnny Grunge spot where he just jumped and he crashed through 2 tables, all cattywampus, and hit the guardrail on the way down.
He really crashed through a table and a third.
God, it was just like, let's send these guys out here and just let them kill each other. Tell me you got 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. How much time? You said you...
I have times for all the matches on the show.
How long did this go?
Longest match in the show at 3 minutes, 39 seconds.
3 minutes and 39 seconds. And look at all of the damage these guys did to each other in this 3 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything.
No.
Not one thing did it mean.
Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Six. Rey was wearing his badass Spider-Man gear, including web shooters. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. So Six comes out with Hall and Nash. They are all in street clothes. He jumps Rey at the bell. Rey cuts him off. He's whipping his ass. Hall and Nash try to hit the ring. Rey fights them off briefly. Eventually, he is overwhelmed. He gets razor's edged. Six hooks the chicken wing and wins. This match went 53 seconds.
Cool.
Not 5 minutes 53, 0 minutes and 53 seconds.
Rey got just a little bit of offense when Six went for the Bronco Buster. Rey lifted up his foot and hit Six right in the crotch.
Yes.
It was awesome.
So,
I will admit, this next part sucked.
Six refuses to break the hold. So, out comes J.J. Dillon and Nick Patrick.
In a WCW shirt.
A very cheap-looking WCW shirt.
I think he made it himself.
He may have.
There's no way they sold this.
Dillon jumps in the apron. Patrick hits the ring, but he's just Nick Patrick. So the NWO throws him out. Out comes Eric Bischoff and the rest of the NWO, like 15 guys. They all hit the ring. They're all laughing. They're all partying. Bischoff cuts this promo. Says, I forget what he said, but it's Dillon. Doesn't matter. Ran him down. Like a minute goes by. This whole time, Six is still refusing to break the hold. Rey Mysterio's arm is now shattered. It's in pieces.
I'll tell you what Bischoff said. He said, JJ, you have no power to do anything.
Yeah. And he was right.
So, I'm going to see if I can get this straight. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. Bischoff supposedly has no power. JJ is in charge of WCW, but he has no power over Bischoff, who has no power.
Right.
Should Dillon not at least have the power to get a guy to break a hold?
Just stop torturing another man.
What is J.J. Dillon's role?
I don't know.
What is his job? They neutered him like Stephanie McMahon neuters dudes on a regular basis on Raw every week. I mean, they just made him out to look like a clown.
And he was supposed to be the sheriff.
Yeah.
He's the authority figure. And finally, Six releases the hold, and he and Nash get in Dillon's face, and they're screaming, "You can't do anything to us. You don't have power like you did in New York with McMahon." A line that made all the fans go, "But?" Because he was
Lame.
never on camera in New York with McMahon.
This segment sucked.
Here's what I wrote here. Dillon continues to be a horrible GM. This segment was a disaster, and this show is the drizzling shit so far.
Wow.
And now it's time for the road report. Lee Marshall's joke was that if Heenan went to Baltimore for a crab fest and they gave him blue crabs, that's a good thing. Guess what was next?
Fucking road report. Bischoff and Hogan.
Hogan came out for some talking. Guess what Hogan had to say? Nothing.
No. He had one of his classic wacky Hogan lines where he says, the NWO has been doing all the dirty work. Meanwhile, I've been making money and buying land.
That's what he said.
Was that another one that he had that one time? He had some really wacky line.
So he was saying they were
like, we're hanging out and we're
eating fruit and being cool.
eating fruit and being cool. Now he's making money and buying land.
Have you ever seen the
land?
video?
What the hell does that have to do with
It's
anything?
supposed to be a good investment.
I
I
guess.
must have bought some just before the segment. There's a video out there from the early days of Monday Night Raw. And it's Vince McMahon, Randy Savage when he was just an announcer, and Hulk Hogan. and they're meeting, I don't know if it's Make-A-Wish kids or like a local Little League team or something, but they bring in like 8 kids. And Vince is talking, and they're making jokes, and Hogan says, someday I'll get Savage back to the ring, and Savage says, no, I'm done, I'm too old, brother. And some lackey comes up to Vince, and there's something wrong, something cable they can't plug in or something. So Vince rolls his eyes and says, excuse me, and he leaves. So now you've got a bunch of kids, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. It's about 15 seconds of the most awkward silence you ever saw in your life. And finally Hogan just says, you guys are pretty cool. It's amazing.
Well, Hogan did say he wanted the big dog, building up that feud with Roman Reigns.
I guess so.
19 years early.
The most amazing thing about this actually was they found a woman overjoyed to lay eyes on the Hulkster. This was the moment of her life. Everything just peaked right here. They called out Sting, looked at the Raptors, Sting wasn't there. Announcers said that Luger had suffered an injury in Japan. They were not sure if he'd be able to compete in the main event, to which Larry said, well, they can't be injured that bad then. Killing the drama. And then they left. And we were 20 plus minutes into the show, and nothing has happened yet.
Thankfully, that all changed with Regal versus Ming, which went 10 seconds?
Officially, bell to bell, 29.
29 seconds. They were having this awesome brawl, and Sullivan just interfered for the DQ.
Yeah.
That's legit heat.
It was a great brawl while it lasted. I will grant you that.
Ming put Regal in the Tongan death grip. A bunch of geeks are out there. Regal breaks free. They had another great brawl, another Tongan death grip.
Yeah, Tongan after Regal's in the death grip for a minute. It takes 3 people to pull Ming off him, and as soon as Ming lets go, Regal pops back up on his feet, ready to fight more. So he gets back in the death grip again, and now Jackie's begging him to stop, but Sullivan starts shoving Jackie, and I had no idea what was going on.
Now, the next 5 minutes is why this show is awesome. First off, we had a DDP video package, and I liked it because they're actively trying to create their own star. Every guy they had was somebody from somebody else. I don't give a shit if he was Bischoff's neighbor. All that matters is they decided we're going to create a star. It's going to be DDP. He's going to feud with and beat Randy Savage and be elevated. And you know what? It worked.
Amen.
Then Kimberly came out.
Lovely young lady.
Oh, man.
Easy on the eyes.
No bra. Captivating.
This dress. This dress.
It was amazing.
The way it hung.
Didn't hang.
Clung.
Stuck.
Clung.
Stuck.
Hung.
Stuck is better. It stuck to her.
Was nice.
It was. So Paige cuts a promo. It was pretty good. Kim cut a promo. It's pretty bad. Savage comes out. They jaw jacked.
She talked?
I promise she did.
Oh.
You missed nothing. Savage comes out, and they jaw jacked for a while, and then nothing happened.
Jaw jack. Let's talk about how awesome Savage was. Just a great heel. He said, because Kimberly had said, I could not possibly care less about this Randy Savage. And so Savage comes out, and he's a heel, and he has to make sure to say that, Kimberly, you got to stop calling me, you got to stop writing me, and you know what? If I wasn't hurt, I'd go down there and kick your ass. Excellent heel line.
Jeff Jarrett versus Alex Wright.
Okay. Jeff Jarrett comes out. First off, we got Jeff Jarrett's music. That's very important here. I'll play this while I do the match. So Jarrett comes out, and he's facing Alex Wright. And so the story of the match is that Alex Wright beats up Jeff Jarrett. And he is winning on him. He has the match solidly in control. But then he turns and he begins gyrating and thrusting his hips at Deborah. Deborah responds by saying, "That's gross." This distracts Alex Wright. His own penis distracts him. He is then attacked by Jarrett and put in the figure four for the submission.
Not the first time for a lot of guys, actually.
So Jarrett has beaten the babyface.
Looking at mine right now.
And they go to the announcers. You can't see it. They go to the announcers, and they proceed to bury the babyface, saying he was being nasty and an idiot. fucking hate this show.
This was
All true.
an Iron Man match at 1 minute, 27 seconds.
Yeah. I just love announcers who call out the idiocy of the baby faces. I mean, he has to be turning heel, right?
I believe he was, actually, at some point.
And then fucking Glacier.
They flew Liz Mark Jr. from Mexico to Wisconsin so he could lose,
For his debut.
so he could make his debut and lose via superkick to Glacier in 19 seconds.
That's what happened. He ran up the ropes, he did a flip, and then he was super kicked and pinned.
Also, depending on how you feel about that table spot in the first match, first clean finish in the show. Apparently the tables were legal in that match. I don't know. Then Mortis and Wrath come out.
With the helmet.
They have the helmet. They have Mortis's wacky magic skull staff, or whatever the hell that was. They beat him up. Actually, first Mortis hits the ring, and Glacier is whipping his ass.
With clenched fists, as the announcers say.
They're
Because
very-
you know the man's angry.
Now he's pissed off.
This karate guy rarely clenches his fist when he fights.
Yes. Wrath comes out, and Wrath stands in the opposite corner, and he watches. He's playing Roddy Piper this week, watching his partner get beat up. And then finally Mortis whips Glacier into Wrath, and Wrath hits basically a rock bottom, and they beat him up for a while and whacked him with the wacky skull staff.
I wish that you would have timed for the last couple of weeks how long they have spent on this Glacier storyline. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of time. They spent like 5 minutes on this.
Counting the beating? Yeah.
And they spent another 5 or 10 minutes last week
Yes.
on a horrible storyline.
Yes, they're feuding over a 700-year-old helmet.
It's because he's a karate guy.
Yeah.
Like-
it's Mortal Kombat.
Bischoff cares about the NWO
Yes.
and his karate
He
guy.
cares about karate.
And everybody else can just fuck off. You cruiserweights, Mexicans.
Yep.
If only Liz Mark had known karate.
So Harlem Heat versus Giant and Lex Luger were supposed to be the main event. Craig, I'm sure you were pleased to see Giant's new singlet with the longer legs.
Absolutely.
He comes out. He says, Lex is not here. I have a new partner. It's Diamond Dallas Page. Page comes out with Kimberly.
Now, before you tell everybody what happened, Giant's in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure we all know that. Giant is in the ring.
The Giant is in the ring, which is connected to the stage via an aisleway, which is convenient for traveling through.
Sure.
Savage appears to distract Page. Hogan jumps Page from behind. Savage is manhandling Kimberly as Hogan whacks Page with a crutch. Minutes go by. I'm wondering where the Giant is.
Tony Schiavone is actually screaming, somebody tell the Giant what's going on.
Yes.
Because apparently he got in the ring and he wasn't paying attention to his buddy's entrance.
No. They did at least. They finally cut to the ring, and the Outsiders and the B-Teamers were laying waste to all those guys. Michael Wall Street is still alive.
Yeah, wasn't he let go of last week with the Big Boss Man?
I forget.
I vaguely remember something
There
like
was some,
that
Dylan
happening.
had some line about whose contact was still around. It seems like the last time we saw him, he was...
You think they remember?
No.
We remember way better than they did at the time.
Anyway, yeah, he'd been laid out repeatedly in parking lots, it seems. Flair and Green and Piper all come out. They all get beaten too.
Yeah, Kevin Nash putting Roddy Piper in his own sleeper hold.
That made me laugh.
Come on.
Made me laugh. Probably the first and last time, by the way, Nash ever used a sleeper.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out because Flair and Kevin Green hit the ring, and there's no Roddy. And I'm thinking, wow, they're actually following up on the storyline. So Roddy explained it earlier that he figured these guys that Flair had it, and now they're following it up as Green and Flair run down, but Roddy Piper is nowhere to be seen. I was wrong. He just can't run.
Yes.
Flair and Green ran, and he walked down to the ring
Yeah.
because he has one hip.
Yes. So Hogan and Savage made some jokes, and the NWO beat everyone up, and that was how the show ended. So let's recap.
You know, you may have been right. you may have trumped me.
Before you recap, did you notice when they cut back to where Savage and DDP were brawling, and for whatever reason, Kimberly's laid out on the ground too?
I believe you. I don't remember it or didn't see it.
Are we to believe that Savage hit a woman?
I think we're
guess.
supposed to believe that he just grabbed her and gave her a good shaking and then let go and she fell down.
Oh, so shaking is okay.
Like Fay Ray.
So you can shake your baby but not hit her?
She's not a baby. She's a grown woman.
No, I'm talking about yours.
That's a bad defense, by the way.
No, I
don't
can't
tell that
shake
in front
my
of a
baby.
judge.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
He just grabbed her and he held on to her and then he let go of her and she swooned. That's why
He's
she was on the
macho.
ground.
I see.
He's macho and she swooned. She fainted.
He told you she's been calling him so much. She's probably just so happy to see him. We're not convincing you, are we?
No.
All right. Okay.
This looked like there was active violence against a woman
It was
on the show.
heavily implied.
Yes.
Now, I will say this terrible brawl.
Wow.
Freudian. Terrible
Oh,
brawl
that's even worse.
to close Nitro was much better than the terrible brawl to close Raw.
True.
Okay. Here are the matches in the show. A Public Enemy match, 3 minutes, 39 seconds, and sucked. Rey and 6, 53 seconds, shitty interference finish. Regal Mang, 29 seconds, shitty DQ. Jarrett Wright, minute 27, shitty interference. Glacier Lismark, 19 seconds, but hey, a clean finish. And a main event that went 0 seconds because it never started. Only a 1 hour show, but still 6 minutes, 47 seconds of actual wrestling. Even if you don't count the main event as a match, because it wasn't, average match in the show, 1 minute, 21 seconds.
Huh.
And that's skewed because the Public Enemy match was so long. Median time, 53 seconds.
The median time.
Median time of... Yes.
That's some good stats there, Vinny.
It was so bad, I felt the need to break out the numbers. Like, me telling you it's bad doesn't seem strong enough. I must bring factual evidence.
Huh.
You didn't have to. I saw the show.
Well, looking
Well, to
back
you
at it, that
specifically,
was
you're right.
not the best Nitro that I've ever seen. I would have liked a little more action. Maybe we'll get it next week, which I think is another 1 hour show.
Yes.
Man, how long are these damn playoffs? Do we have
more.
2 more?
There you go, a long time.
2 more 1 hour shows. Can you imagine? Well, let's play another song. Hopefully this is as good as the last one. This is a song created, I guess, to celebrate our now weekly NWA reviews.
Mark Gulin. Mark Gulin. Kijo Khan. Mark Gulin. Mark Gulin. He's able to run the 40-yard dash in 3.5 seconds. And you think your football players are fast and tough. Ha! He will pick his teeth with their bones. This man is totally awesome.
That was a totally awesome
Why
song.
was Mark Gulin not a giant star?
That's right. I don't know. He was only in the business for a short period of time for some reason. Man. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back on Thursday with Granny's new voice and all the other fun stuff. So check it out. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Bye.